I apologize for taking a little tiny hiatus from YouTube. I was away for about a month. Still been blogging, but took a little time off, not necessarily because of the whole YouTube controversy that's going on right now about how they're shutting down monetization. I mean, I don't even get any money from my videos. I don't monetize them. So if you see an ad on my video, I didn't put it there, so feel free to ad block it. But it's really much more just about well, a couple things. A lot of it is that it's the summertime, and then to get decent sound, you really have to turn your air conditioning off, and nobody wants to do that in the depths of August. Anyway, though, I'm back. But one thing you may have noticed if you've been paying attention to my blog, and if not, shame on you, is that I'm focusing in my last couple posts on new music. I like this blog and this video series to be about hip hop of all eras, the disco era, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and brand new stuff. And I feel like lately, the focus has shifted really into primarily an old school blog and old school site, and absolutely I'm still always going to do old school content, but so I wanted to do some new stuff. So my last couple posts on my blog have been brand new releases. This video is going to be about some new music, the next video is going to be about some new music, and after that we'll go right back into the regular swing of things. I just want to inject some new stuff into this, and so the record today actually is not brand new. It's from like 2 years ago. The BANKAI FAM. Now, if you haven't heard of the BANKAI FAM before, you're going to thank me. This is an album, by the way, called On My Side. It's a full-length album. It's their debut album, and so far their only album as a fam. A couple of members have solo projects, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But these guys, strictly New York, but on a French record label, so they did have a bit of delay. They had really kind of tore up the scene with some music videos, and then it took a long time for the album to come out. And so far to date, it's still, again, their only collective album or a single or anything is this. I don't want to oversell it and oh, every brand new release is a classic and oh my god, and, overhype it and all this and that. But really, what this reminds me of is, I mean, partially in the sense of the music and the tone, but not so much that, not so much that it sounds like this record, but just that it brings to mind the energy and the surprise and the oomph it came when it came out, is Wu-Tang Clan Protect Your Neck, the original 12-inch single, the one that just came out and blew everybody away. Nobody knew who Wu-Tang Clan was. They just came out, indie label, boom, on the scene. That's what these guys sound like with their first release, with these first couple videos and with this LP. That much kind of, raw excitement. Obviously, there are some pretty superficial connections that I'm making as well. It's a big fam. It's a collective of artists. There's a bunch of guys in the BANKAI fam. They have a name that is sort of reminiscent of Wu-Tang Clan. They call kind of grimy, strictly New York, underground, raw, hardcore kind of stuff. There's obvious connections to draw, but it's not even so much that. It's just that whole kind of that feeling of, wow, these guys are bringing it when the music scene in general, or the hip-hop scene anyway, I don't care about other genres, is getting way too kind of pop and commercial and going off into all these questionable directions, just like it was in the 90s before the Wu-Tang kind of came and set it straight. It's almost even worse now. And so, again, they just really bring that kind of corrective, exciting energy. So there's no real guess or anything. It's just the BANKAI fam, which is enough because, again, there's a whole bunch of them. And it's all produced essentially in-house. I don't think they're actually officially members of the BANKAI fam, but it's 3 producers collectively known as Jupiter 3, which is sort of a collection of guys who've done some solo stuff. One of them particularly, Kyo Itachi, has done some interesting stuff before with like Elemento, and at least that's the one that sort of stuck on my radar. But he's done a bunch of stuff like Rusty Jux. He's had a name for himself before. But everybody, all 3 producers really shine on this album. It really clicks perfectly with these guys. One thing that's interesting, again, I'm saying it harkens back to like Protect Your Neck and all, but it doesn't feel like, oh, it's 90s throwback. The production definitely has a new modern feel to it, but at the same time, keeping, true to the very hardcore raw aesthetics of pure hip hop. So in a way, it's sort of 90s hip hop, but then it's also not purely, oh my God, look at us trying to be 90s. They're not trying to be 90s, they're just being themselves. The production is a bit more modern edge, but it's just these aesthetics that they're bringing feels like the 90s in the best way. Like my favorite song on here is Never Again, which is a really kind of hardcore, street, rugged, grimy kind of song. It's a little bit of that kind of like KA, from Nightbreed. In fact, they got a reggae hook by this guy named Top Notch, who's a member of the BANKAI fam. And that actually kind of reminds me of like the sort of Natural Elements when they did Magnetic and stuff like that. Again, bring to mind Wu-Tang, Natural Elements. This is right in that, circle of influence, and that's perfect. And then like their second video was another awesome posse cut, which is also on this album. But then what's interesting is that there's actually a pretty solid variety in this album. Like there's a song on here called Move On, which is actually very kind of serious and earnest, but just as effective. It's not like this kind of raw energy kind of stuff. It's much more kind of like a lot of their stuff to kind of being hardcore and flexing skills and talking about kind of gangster violence kind of stuff, at least in imagery, if not literally being in like gangster rappers, and poetic imagery, but using that kind of stuff. But like a Move On is much more kind of like grown man rap, to use the cliche, and being reflective and serious. So it's definitely kind of a mix. So like one song on here, Tech Flow, has some really nice DJ cuts. And, being a mix and being a full LP, admittedly, not every song is as incredible as, like, the first couple of singles, which, again, just totally blew me away, as in, like, best song of the year, like, wow, amazing. But the worst song on here is really good, you know what I mean? So it's a really solid LP. The best songs do stand out, but everything on here is really strong. And another thing about the BANKAI fan, and not to just kind of overload this video with Wu-Tang comparisons, is that there's kind of a great blend of the appeal of the Wu-Tang Clan and then they're kind of the spin-off groups. Because one thing the Wu-Tang Clan had is that everyone had a really distinct, unique personality and voice and flow. Like you would never confuse Method Man with ODB. They're so completely, wildly out there, separate people. Jizza, Raekwon, totally different styles, voices, everything. In fact, although I think it got, especially when you got into their solo albums in their later career, it started getting a little too far out there and a little too exaggerated. And you had, oh, I'm Bobby Digital, I'm like a spaceman rapper. And, it got a little too, like, I know they all wanted to stand out and have solo careers and be like, I'm the guy who sounds like this. But, it started to sound a little almost cartoonish and, whereas opposed to groups like Kill Army, where you have to be a serious fan to really even be able to tell who's rapping when, I mean, they do have distinct voices and like iLord sounds different and stuff like that, but not so much where if you're not, again, seriously a Kill Army fan who probably has all their albums to be able to say, oh, well, who's rapping when? Whereas you never say, is that Method Man or ODB? Like you, as soon as he coughs on the mic, you know which one it is. This is kind of the perfect blend of that. Because you have guys like LG and P General, and they sound nothing like Skanks or G-Stats, or obviously Top Notch. He's out there in almost like a whole separate genre. So they're all distinct, but they also sound like a collective crew. They don't sound too much like, hey, we're just 10 different solo artists jammed onto one massive album together. Like it doesn't sound incongruous at all. They belong together. It sounds like a crew. So it's got that kind of more cohesive Kill Army vibe, but at the same time, they're not completely indistinguishable, so they've got some of that Wu-Tang too. And being a couple years old, it is a little bit disappointing now that this is still their only project, but that's just speaking collectively, because again, and in fact, in another way, being like the Wu-Tang, all these guys are kind of doing independent projects, and two of them already have independent CDs, which are kind of rare and obscure, but one of them also has a 12-inch single, and there's some videos and stuff. And also, like the Wu-Tang, I do think they're the strongest together, because then it's just like a wow powerhouse of everybody. But the solo projects let you get to know them more. You're like, oh, G-Stats, he's got the one, the more grimy voice. Okay, now I know who he is when I'm listening to the BANKAI Fam album. And also, they do have some killer tracks, especially the songs that they've released as, like, not singles, because there's no 12 inches necessarily, except Skanks does have one, but just like music videos and stuff like that on YouTube. Those songs that they've singled out have been some really strong stuff. But then also, again, like the Wu-Tang Clan, the more material they do, the more a little bit gets kind of watered down or diluted. And some of the soul stuff like Shabam Sadiq and Nolan, I mean, not to shit on Shabam, but it does start to sound like, okay, this is definitely not as strong as their strongest material. And as you can see, it's a nice picture cover for an underground independent, debut. That's pretty sweet on wax. And it's a full LP, single LP, but a full LP, 9 songs. So definitely you want to cop that. You're going to hear some clips and you're going to want it right away. And again, the whole album definitely lives up to the promise, but don't buy it direct from the label. For one thing, it's a French label and you have to import, but secondly, I think there's something shady going on. I did try to order directly from the label, and okay, mess like, oh, it didn't arrive in the mail, and that's the post office, and that happens to everybody. But we went back and forth, and something is really shady there. Don't buy direct from the label. Buy it from a site like Underground Hip Hop, who does carry it. At least they did when I bought it. I don't know. Maybe it's out of stock, but I'm sure you can find it in multiple places. So again, buy it anywhere but direct from the label, just to protect yourself. But do cop it because it is that good. And don't even, I'm just saying, oh wow, great, blah, 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 awesome, and just listen to sound clips and you're going to believe that for yourself. So let's go into it right now. BANKAI Fam, just going to play a couple selections on my side. Again, this is like 2 years ago. Definitely cop it, and then you probably want to check out the solo material too. There's some hot stuff out there. Bankai Fam.
Bankai.
Me never run away from the pussy hole who chat. Me put them head in at them chest and make them body hit a jack. Me never run away. Gunshot it up, me back cut it no matter if you're tossing. Even your fat, me never run away from the pussy hole who chat. Me put them head in at them chest and make them body hit a jack. Me never run away. Gunshot it up, me back cut it no matter if you're tossing. Even your fat.
You ain't trying to live stick and dick with no condiments. Say you only fuck with bad bitches. Explain your baby mama then. There's no need for me to flip and beat my chick, but I will punch a pussy in the face with my dick. I'm from Brooklyn. The Zuna let me out the cage. I don't know how to act in public. He don't gotta say behave. It gets mad embarrassing when I don't have my medicine. I might have but a bitch nigga like Chad did Evelyn. And I don't even think you in the right mind to fight me, cause you be in the crib spending too much time with wifey. You gotta straight take a little time out your day. If you a real warrior, then come outside and play. Any G's who see me mobbing with, I never have a problem with brawling with another clique on some young Sonny Carson shit. That's why I gotta give thanks to God for all the rap fans who say skanks is hard.
We never run away from the pussy hole who chat. We put them head in at them chest and make them body hit a jack. We never run away. Gunshot it up, me back cut it no matter if you're tossing. Even your fat, me never run away from the pussy hole who chat. We put them head in at them chest and make them body hit a jack. Me never run away. Gunshot it up, me back cut it no matter if you're tossing. Even your fat. Gunshot the most a pussy head, pussy happy dead. Gunshot, most a pussy head, pussy happy dead. Gunshot, most a pussy head, pussy happy dead. Cause you're rolling up the road, talking out your pussy bird.
It's the Führer, brain with iron fist, judge and the juror, pain bringer, monsoon shooter, rainmaker, bring a neck like a doorbell of a nigga who touched my daughter slaughter with 10 fingers. Beat stringer, hold it till his feet dangles. Danger, caution sign, go off with my finger.
You know, it's like three things in this world that you can't recover. The word after it's said, the moment after it's missed, and the time after it's gone. As we move on. When they see me in the flesh, they be really impressed, but yet they broadcast my failures and whisper my success. Them type of people I avoid, try not to speak to, cause whoever's trying to bring you down is already beneath you. If you nice, then take pride in the way that you write. Follow your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. You might hate me in like Waka, so you say any hotter, but I would rather make a difference instead of making $1. I can't just spit, I wanna do too much shit. I'd rather live a life full of OLs than a life full of what ifs. Rusty put us on the way that Sean co-signed him when he first came out joking that he was his ghostwriter. I swear I'm so inspired, it's like I'm wired, cause I don't run out of ideas and my writing head don't get tired. To the basket, I might score, I might pass it. The Bankai PGC, the whole floor like
telling me to jump, but won't catch me. Bet you when I'm gone, they gon' miss me. Could it be? I gotta keep moving on. I gotta keep moving on. They telling me to jump, but won't catch me. Promise when I'm gone, they gon' miss me. Could it be? I gotta keep moving on. I gotta keep moving on.
My essence in the presence is a gift. When I return to the essence, will I be missed? Through lessons, manifesting, I exist. While the world's getting sucked in deep abyss.
What up, DJ Roman? Kyo General. It's the Bankai family.
Yeah.
Shoot for the AKA. Y'all ready? Come on, let's go.
All of my babies bang, gorillas orangutan. We won't change the fame, but we gon' change the game. You bang low, pussy is bang high. Head, neck, and chest, we bang high. Crown heights, this is us, we gon' pick it up. $500,000 took it there, we gon' take it there. Rusty did the jokes for his crooks to make it here. The best open doors where they get blown off hinges or ninjas. Hop out trenches, click, click fences. Leave the fences defenseless, we make it our entrance. Ended your earth with an OCB imprint. Listen, my hitman henchman, this is a lynch.
I was seeing the mad times, I really wasn't counting, but look like this punk man is death by 1,000 cuts. Make sure your mouth is shut when I'm spitting, or else you out of luck. I stun you like you came out my nuts. I've been rapping from the start, I never let success get to my head, and never let failure get to my heart. I got guns, but my #1 weapon is smarts. Without knowing, I can hit you in your neck with a dart. Versus Big J, Punch Jada, then the rap martyr. That's my top 5, dead or alive. In that order, you might be like Kyo Itachi running this list, but who you think really running shit can't really fuck with my clique?
Everybody nowadays think they a thug until they ass get hit in the hospital laid up. I wish one of these rap niggas would act up. I timberland boot raise a blade knife you up. We them type of niggas throwing bodies in the trunk. Catch your ass slipping while you poly with a slut. One click bang, got this game in a chokehold. Niggas breathe wrong, I'm breaking niggas nose bone. We on our mom shit, strip up, home shit, leave bodies swimming with the fishes.
We got the big homie in the building, Easy Mo B.
One more time.
Came through one more time. You tore it up last time, man.
Oh yeah.
The turntable's still smoking, man.
Is they?
They still smoking, man.
They look kind of lonely.
Word, man. They still smoking.
They look kind of lonely.
Yeah, they lonely. You know me. You know me. I'm just pushing buttons over here, man.
They look kind of lonely.
But yo, man, you know, man, anytime you ready to come back and tear that shit up, it's always here for you. You know that. It's always welcome
Yeah, I was
for you,
coming
big bro.
from another spot in the city, but skanks, you know what I'm saying? Flow professional. You know
Yes,
I had
sir.
to come see you, man.
Thank you, big
Yeah, I
bro.
had
Thank
to,
you,
man.
big
I
bro.
had to. My BANKAI
Word.
fam.
Easy Mo is in the building, y'all. Word up.
Much appreciated.
Right.
Word, man. How you though, big bro? How you been?
I'm all right, man. Just, it's not that many groups left.
And I want people
and that's mainly because of, pardon me, D, and that's mainly because of greed. You know, groups don't really stay together. You don't really see groups that much. Because once that greed sense is set in place, it ain't a lot of times what it became now is like not we, me. So everything be about me, but with y'all it's still we. So I'm just saying, just alone off of the concept to see a group still functioning out there, man.
Yo,
that's
that.
special in hip hop. That shows some unity. That show unity. It ain't easy to have a group.
Word.
It's not easy because it's a group mentality, and it's not about me. It's about we. So good to see y'all together, man.
Good looking movie. Word.
Y'all complete.
you want to know what's crazy? Skanks played a big part in the South.
Crazy, my lord. Crazy outside. I feel trouble outside, yo. Trust me. Not what the whole world struggle, it's your belly hungry. So some boy more hustle. Babylon, they want to come and first turn muscle. It's your back up and them. No, you ain't a peanut. Trouble. Not what the whole world struggle, it's your belly hungry. So some boy more